Police Department.
And what's your role with the volunteers?
My role with the volunteers is that I am the volunteer coordinator, and I also started the program. I started the program actually 3 or 4 years ago. We started looking at the program and talking about its development, and we actually kicked it off in the fall of 2013.
Has that program been any value to the police department?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think every month so far we're averaging approximately 150 hours per. Okay.
Keep going. Maybe I'm my brother-in-law.
So far since November of 2013, we average about 190 hours per month. We had 4 volunteers to begin with. Now we're at 6. We had the 2 volunteers approximately 2 months ago. And right now, I think we're going to keep the 6 for a while. As jobs and duties increase, we'll probably add more, but I think right now we're pretty much going to stay with 6. As for how well and how much of an asset the volunteers are to the department, so far it's been pretty huge. You know, by putting in 190 hours a month, that's 190 hours per month that officers and clerical staff are able to focus on what they really need to be focusing on, especially with law enforcement, and that's out and about and community policing.
Hi, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Romy Nichols. I'm a volunteer with the Klamath Falls Police Department. In my working life, I started out as a secretary and worked that way for a couple of years, and then I went to a public utility and ended my career as a sales rep for a public utility. And I am interested in volunteering for the police department because these are the guys that run toward trouble to protect the rest of us. And they get no thanks for it, and they get no help for it. And I'm thinking if I have volunteer time to spend, I want to spend it where it can do the most good, and so that's why I volunteer here.
What kind of duties did you do as a volunteer?
Oh, all different kinds. We shuffle cars, we take them to the shop or to the Basin Tire to get the studs put on in the winter and taken off in the spring. We deliver mail to the courthouses around. We do house checks. We check for graffiti. I do radar studies for traffic. I do spreadsheets and things for some of the projects around that the cops have.
You do?
Oh, I do filing, I do typing, I do all kinds of stuff. Basically, anything they need to have done, we try and do for them.
And you do that why?
Because it's something the officers used to have to do. And so our doing it allows the officers to have more time on the street. And more time on the street means safer streets.
Hello, my name is Patricia Spangler, and I'm a volunteer with the police department, of course. I was married very young, and then after my divorce I got into business and I went into dentistry. So I was a registered dental assistant for 35 years. Then I retired and moved to Klamath Falls, and I like to volunteer because it helps everybody, and it's really nice to volunteer for the police department because it makes sure that we have the men out on the street where they do the most good, and we can do the jobs that they don't have to bother with anymore. When I first started the police academy, I think it was 3 years ago, there was a very small group, but we started talking about wanting volunteers. And so the second and third year, we really got into it, and people looked up things and got help, and we got help from the police department to have a coordinator, and now we have quite a little group going, and I think we're doing some real good. The Citizens Academy was very interesting, and every year it was a little different and still more interesting, and so this is where we ended up.
What is the most fun thing that you do as a volunteer?
Oh, I love to drive the cars, the police cars. They want to go fast and I can't.